Oh, Oreo. I was like, wait a minute. I was looking for the sandal emoji, but I can never find it when I need it. Nope. Can't find it. Oh, Charmaine found it for me. Excellent. We get a little time. I am tired today, fellas. Time to build towers. Totally worth it, but I am not built for this anymore.
I get it. It's a lot of work. It's draining to I mean, thankfully it's the weekend though, right? Do that.
And it's a long weekend in Canada.
Oh, what do you guys have going on?
I think it's just because I don't usually get this weekend off, and so I never pay attention. But yeah, that's just the August long weekend.
Okay.
First weekend in August, we get a 3-day weekend. I don't think most businesses are closed, like government ones, but other people can be open.
Okay. I remember Canada Day was like what, a month ago? So it's not that.
No, it's not Canada Day. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but it could be just that they decided we need 3-day weekends more often. I'll take it. I like seeing our chat lively.
I wonder where
And
Otto is. Let me see him. See if he
oh, sorry, I was reading. There we go. Oh, we'll give it a little time. Maybe there's a lot of tired people on this Sunday morning.
I'm starting to
That's okay. We're still here. Happy to
Mhm.
hang out.
Oh, no. No, we don't want to see it
Oh,
then.
1,000% AC. I probably should just chew the coffee beans at this point.
Ooh, coffee.
Yeah.
I need
Now that
coffee.
don't have any
Mhm.
made. Sounds so great.
An iced cappuccino right now.
Hmm.
That would be awesome. But alas, here we are. That will have to wait.
Yep.
I'll just give it another minute. See if we get some more stragglers rolling in. Because we got.
Hmm.
Then we'll just share all our wisdom and knowledge in it. Friendly people in the audience will get it. None for anyone else. All right. Well, the opener then, I guess. Can tell my brain is going slow. I stayed up till 3 a.m. basically doing tower. Please send me coffee vibes and energy. I am going to open the stage now and welcome everyone us, and thank you for joining us. I want to remind everyone that the hand up icon is for you to come our community. I want to also remind everyone to not forget to post your in-game IDs channel. And I think that's it right now. That's all my brain can say. So I'm going to hand it over to Sol because he's going to run through the newest released info on some of the in-game updates we're looking forward to.
Looking forward to. The biggest change that we discussed last week that's been implemented since our has been the change in the mine system. So I think we're going to cover that for a bit and then go towards some strategies there. This is going to change also. It appears fairly once the AMP system that was also announced goes into play. So let's talk about for way the mine operates in its current form. So prior to the last update, the mine system, you would have to basically search around, knock people out. The only limitation was really time. Gather for 30 minutes because you were under a bubble where you couldn't get hit, nor could you plunder another. And you would build up crystals to buy in the mine store. So that has now changed by giving with ability to use diamonds to purchase extra plunder times throughout the week. Instead of, I think it was 8 hours bug before.
I think so. Yeah, something like that. Now it's 12.
Now it's 12. Limited with the amount of plunder times that you have. So currently you're allowed to gather in the mines, and you're gathering at a much, much higher rate than we were able to in the past. So most of us, mine is a very important factor in this game because the store offers quite a bunch of items that are very beneficial towards on your account. So everything from genetic material to creature remains, no creature remains, right?
Ascent shells and exotic fodder for insect.
Oh yes, but prior to it was just genetic material and some of the evolution meteorite material, but added insect ascent shells and fodder and exotic fodder, right? Those were and then apparently once the AMP system goes into play, they're also going to be adding a certain material that's going to be for the amped system. So
they say it's a mysterious crystal.
Yes.
Yeah, and it'll allow us to upgrade buildings, or it'll be required to upgrade building levels as to upgrade evos.
Yep. So when the AMP system opens up, the mine is going to change slightly. Currently, if you plunder a player in the mines, you get all of the crystals that they have gathered. They don't lose anything if they're plundered, and my understanding is they get knocked into the lower.
Yeah, just the regular mine that we used to have.
Yeah. So the good news is that if you've been plundered and knocked out, your troops are not gathering anything; they're just gathering at a lower rate. So Practically speaking, aside from not logging into the game, as long as you, with the 12-hour, you will be gathering crystals so long as you at least enter the game technically once, right?
Yeah, I like your strategy. I've been doing that at reset. I just pull, or like right before reset, I just pull all of the gathering troops because 4,000. And then I just, that way I'm like at reset, I got them going for 12 hours and I'll definitely be back within 12 hours.
Yeah. Reset, I kind of just plunder 3 players or get into the mines, make sure that I'm gathering, and then 12 hours later, I make sure that I jump back in. There are, like I said, 8 additions and those are good because let's say you do get knocked out, you can, purchase one of to the higher gathering mine. And remember, the protection time for you is that you cannot be hit. I personally feel that it doesn't really matter because with the limit chances per day and week, I feel that most players are not going to be targeting players that are not close to the air gathering because they can maximize the amount of crystals they get if they just wait that particular player to have gathered a lot. And now it's a lot easier because when you hit the reset to go to the next line or whatever, which is random, by the way, instead of like level by level. So with the reset fee, you actually see how many crystals that particular player has gathered. So it makes it a lot easier.
That is so cool, man.
Player that's gathered quite a few mines.
Yeah, I do not miss clicking and unclicking and clicking and unclicking and clicking until I can find somebody with a lot of crystals. This is really cool. We can just see it.
And so you guys know, currently 24,000 the maximum. It takes 12 hours to gather 24,000 crystals. So if you're going to like try to plunder someone, best I would say, me personally, I shoot for like 22,000, 23,000 if possible. But I think like the unsafe position would be if you're at 20,000 or more. Oh, players utilize the mine, and if they want to, be lazier or more aggressive, definitely look for players that have gathered a lot. When the AMP system goes into play, that's going to change. So there will be more plunder chances available both naturally and via purchase. There's also going to be when you plunder a player, you're only going to get half of the crystals that they're gathered, but you'll be gathering at double the rate. So what that means is, within a 12-hour period, instead of 24,000 crystals gather 48,000 crystals. And then if you're plundered, let's say you were close to 40 crystals, you would only, the person plundering would only gain 24,000 crystals. So it's cool because you're gathering at double the rate. And then when you get plundered, they're getting half the rate. It's kind of going to work out the same with the exception more plunder chances. So I'm kind of on the fence on how that's going to work. I think stronger players in the game that are not knocked out as easily, I think they're going to benefit slightly because they're going to have more. And because of that, it's going to also, make it so that there's more often, but the fact that they can use diamonds, which are going to be reduced also, the price of the plunder and the cost in diamonds. But as long as you're an active player and log in multiple times, I don't a humongous change. I think you'll still be able to gather much more efficiently and a lot of crystals. Currently, I can tell you that all the major items in the mine store be purchased with the crystals that you can earn over a week. So that is, again, that is going to be determined by whether or not you are active enough to on the top mine. Okay. Because of just the amount of crystals that you can gather there. I don't know. And again, I'm talking about buying out the mine store of all important items. I'm not talking resources or anything. Insect material, the genetic material, the is there that you would normally buy.
Materials.
Which no, it's just really genetic. Oh yeah, and the meteorite materials. So
Yeah.
currently, very easily, you can buy out all of those as long as you're in the excellent crystal mine for the entire week. So not missing opportunities to, like not being dormant, knocked out of the mine, or not gathering in the mine fully buy out the most items in the mine store.
Nice.
So I'm looking at chat a little bit, and this is something that I started to investigate after our backstage show that we did on Friday, because we were testing stuff in mines. And I think one of the suggestions came from AC, who's in our audience as well. So at reset, I send out all 3 of my troops to plunder. But what I've also been doing is implementing kind of what AC is. Sometimes I send like a test troop, because I send all 3 of my troops into the excellent if I can, but I also try to plunder as high as I can, being what I attack with on the bigger players, or the ones that I know that are bigger players. But I'll test with my mid-range troop, and if that gets defeated, then grab it with my pro usually. But the thing is, we discovered is you don't lose turns if you are defeated. You can continue to try. And what I also discovered is, a lot of players were frustrated with the 5-minute cooldown period.
Yeah.
So if you use a secondary troop, then you're not worrying about it. But if you actually just take your, what I've been doing is when you're changing out guards to carriers or something in a troop line, I just empty it from guards and put the guards back in, or shooters and put the shooters back in, and it have to wait the 5-minute cooldown. That's how it's currently set.
Wait, what do you do?
So if you know how when you're changing out troops in your troop line and you just empty the line troop.
Yeah.
If you just do that right away, it considers it a new troop line that you're going with, and you don't have to do the 5-minute cooldown. I don't know if that'll get changed. It's a glitch right now. But yeah, even if you just pull your type out and put a new troop type in, you don't have to wait.
I did it with one swap of one ant. So I just take one, put the other one back in, and it resets the cooldown.
Yeah. So I did it with I tried it with troops, because I was like, I want to use the current ants I have. It doesn't work with troops as it does with ants or insects or anything. So if you change one thing out, or make it look like you're changing one thing out, so I empty all the guards out, add the have to wait the cooldown. That could change. That could be a glitch currently. I don't know. But right now you don't have to waiting for the cooldown. Bone of contention that has frustrated a few people. So that's kind of how I've been doing it.
Yeah, I hope they leave it just like they have. It's about the game. that
Or
you
just
can
get rid
do.
of the cooldown altogether, especially. So like I'll use my lower troops to kind of test, and surprisingly enough, like second or third marches are actually beating, like, because you don't know if you're running up against someone else's second or third march, and you don't know marches look like. So I've been,
I lost.
you lost what?
I lost in mines on a plunder chance to.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
with
tried.
your pro? With your pro?
No, it was my third unit going against the pro unit in the range, in the mine range, and yeah, bounced back very hard. Had to wait 5 minutes, whatever. And then,
Well, I saw some people concerned about like having to check. So I'm a lazy player. I've seen the stage, like shiny things, lazy player. I don't want to like check. So I love that the numbers are there for me. And if it's somebody that I'm like, oh, you know what, I might not beat them because I know, like, I've run into them before, I'll just, put my mid-range troop at them, and then, and often with how my troops are doing. So yeah, so it's a quick little way to, like, currently, until they change it, not have to, not can hit against as many times as you want currently. That could change though. Anyway,
yeah.
just thought I'd add that.
I mean, I don't mind having to wait 5 minutes. It wasn't because that way I could experience that cooldown period or whatever. It's not too bad.
Yeah,
if
but
it was 30-minute cool.
I'm an ADHD player, so if it's not in front of me, like, I will walk away from mines and forget. So, like, that I don't, because I will forget to resend after if I lost. So I'm like, I'm just gonna
Yeah, I'd
reset.
probably be like, and then forget to come back.
Yeah. So
I don't
anyway.
know. I change personally. I think it's a great addition to the game. I think that the fact that they added the insect material, because that has kind of been the stopgap, especially for free to play players. The spells that they can get are limited, so that's the stopgap in increasing the potential for sex. I mean, depending on the server range you're in, I think most players kind of at 39 to 45 point, if I'm not mistaken. Any of you guys know? 49? Okay.
49 gets pretty tough, yeah. Because then
Yeah,
you have to have
because you have to have the other two
level
insects.
30s.
Don't they have to be to 30 to get up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
so that becomes a major issue, because that's a lot of ascent shells. So I think ascent shells are going to be the most important item to grab in the mine store at this point, right?
Yeah.
For any player.
Oh yeah. I'm
Well,
waiting
yeah,
to-
because it's,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I said, yeah, because it's a stopgap. Like, there's always these stopgaps you level in order to level up. So for any player, it's nice to have those extra shells.
Yeah, and going for me, 79 to 80, I have to have 2 at level 60. So essentials for all that. Then 80 jump is like 30,000 or 34,000 essentials. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, that is a lot of essentials for one
Mm-hmm.
upgrade. Like 85, 90, 100. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's and I mean, even as you get further along developing insects, it just more and more stuff. So anything that gets rid of that bypass, or manner, is a great improvement in my eyes. I always look forward to seeing those. So
I think a lot of people had been asking or, complaining or just voicing their frustrations with it, and it looks like that and they did something about it. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. No, so now that we've kind of covered the questions, feel free to post it in the chat or raise your hand and come up on stage, and we'll try to answer those questions but the other big announcement with the AMP system that's coming is to basically utilize these mysterious crystals or other materials potentially to raise the building level caps as part of the AMP system on various buildings that are going to discussing it prior to stage. I really hope that this is going to be something that is implemented, that points are earned on SVS for building days. That has been a huge ask from the community for years now, especially in the older servers that have run out of buildings to improve. So I don't see that will be the case. But obviously we're going to have to wait and see when it comes out. But you guys kind of feel that for sure is going to happen, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think it would be crazy to do it otherwise. To gain SVS points for using these mysterious crystals and upgrading your buildings. I think it's not going to be an issue. It'll be. Yeah.
I mean, just the way that it's worded too. The long-awaited building max level expansion is coming. So that sounds like there's been the rumors about queen levels and all of that stuff. And for me, the way the language is written, it means that there's certain buildings go like be like improved as we would have just done it in early games. So I think it will be stuff for SVS.
I'm thinking the Evo fungi building is definitely going to be one of those buildings to bump up from 25 to 26, 7, 8, something like that, because we're going to get some new Evo for like some about later. But usually the way that Evo building works is in order to unlock certain trees, you have to have the Evo fungi at a particular level sometimes. So I think that's just going to continue to be the case here, where you're going to have to get it to 26 before you're going to utilize some of these new Evos.
And I mean, really, it can be run a couple of ways, right? You could have the standard upgrade to a building is like a glimmery leaf or one of those other rare items, or it could be a separate upgrade like we do in you enhance your building, but we don't get to keep those in off season. And this seems like something that's more permanent than a purely season based thing. So to me, it feels like it's going to be a system like using a rare item like the glimmery leaf or.
Yeah, I also think we're going to have to upgrade our nests, the ant hatching nests for each troop type. If we want to, I ultimately think we're going to get T11s out of season, and then like maybe a T12 in season.
Ugh, can you imagine how expensive those are? T10s. Oh God. It'll be like a 60-day incubate.
For one ant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're they have announced the whole assault soldier. They're going to be equivalent to SXIs. So that's definitely the AMP system that's coming out. But you think that they're going to increase the level of the season ants as well?
there it says in the up in the amp, if you click in the amp system right within the game, it says season changes.
Oh,
There's going
let
to
me
be
get that.
new season soldier ants debut with power beyond our imagination. So there's going to be stronger soldier is the way I'm
And they're
reading.
upgrading wild creatures rather as well in that. I'll post it, but it's yes, it's coming to that as well.
There you go. Yeah.
Because like, what's the point of having? I guess it's for players who haven't unlocked the level of like the outside. Like if it's T11s inside and outside a game, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, I see. We're probably gonna get higher than level 20 Hornets, huh?
yep, the 50. Who knows?
Ooh.
Depending on, and maybe it'll be based on season level as well. Like you know, rated. So,
Yeah.
but can you imagine bot levels with these mega ants?
Huh.
Suddenly,
me think of
surreal
that.
wet.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Suddenly surreal wetlands becomes level. They
A
just
whole lot more spicy.
yeah.
Oh, AC wrote, what if you need assault ants unlocked to access? You never know. I mean, you have to have your T10s unlocked in order for you to enhance your season ants. So there's like so many little variations until we see it play into this and how it will affect everyday like gameplay out of season, like server side and season side. Because it looks like this is going to be, it's not just one or the other. It's going to change gameplay across the board in ways that we just don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. The other thing is, I wonder if they're gonna come out with a new season after conjunction with this that they haven't really announced. Because it is about time. Maybe a couple months early, but like if you followed ants from the beginning and them coming out with Lost Island and barren land and vast jungle and now wetlands. Wetlands has been since now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think that was about the same amount of time that Vast Jungle 5 seasons maybe before Wetlands was introduced. So who knows? There might be another shortly after which introduces these new things as part of the AMP system.
Oh, yeah. Could be. Yeah, it is. That's a good point. I mean, it's been about it's what, 6 months? So seems to be kind of the plus or minus new season comes out. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's super cool. I think like I think it's sometimes hard when there's changes coming like this, the caves, the mine, crystal mines, I think was challenging. Used to your patterns of behavior. You log in, you do XYZ, things change. And sometimes change is hard to kind of get used to. So I think in the beginning people were frustrated with things, but I know now that I've had like almost a full week of being able to play around with it that I'm enjoying it very much. You kind of got to give it all time, but I like seeing these ways and things continue to grow and challenge us because I think it keeps like players, it retains players, it getting stagnant. So I, for one, am really excited about some of these changes and how it's going to affect gameplay and figuring out all the patterns.
Well, I can tell you this. I mean, like the major thing that I'm seeing from this is a lot of these updates and everything are things that the community has been asking for quite some time. So for them to implement it all in one shot is kind of refreshing. I will say that with discussions with players on my team and those. Um, these are changes that many have wished have been implemented sooner, but the fact that there is very refreshing. I think it's going to definitely improve the game a bit. But that would be a great improvement. Chances of your favorite hatch.
Yeah,
We'll
my
see.
hatches last. Yeah, let's not go there. Still disappointed. So, but yeah, I mean, yes, I agree. Like, I think that there's been we've seen quite a bit of. It feels a lot late. They've been the changes have been more accelerated since my early game days because I'm not like I'm long playing that much longer, but yeah, it seems like the changes and the connection between what the community for testing and the changes we're seeing implemented is getting more on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, like Sol was saying, for years, just unable to build. I'm on building day, and I'm like, come on, like, how am I supposed to get up the Evo tree when I can't get 9 day? Like everyone
Mm-hmm.
else that kind of slow built instead of speed built like me, not knowing what I was doing. Really, I just like I gotta do that. Doing a bunch of colony actions. But yeah, for years I've been wanting this. So I think, awesome things are coming out. Like, yeah, could they do other things? Sure, but like let's take it like one step at a time. And this is like 5 steps with a system. New
Mm-hmm.
new ants, like maybe T11s, maybe T12s, maybe a new season, the crystal mine upgraded with, getting more crystals, being able to purchase, you know, new materials there that we couldn't before. I mean, it's a lot. Kind of like, man, I'm glad they're phasing it in like day by day almost with these updates and things because it's so much info to take in. Like I really had not all day, but I really had to take some time of the day yesterday to really wrap my arms around like, okay, what are all the things happening here? There's so many things happening. I just was kind of focused a little bit on the mines at first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so many things I've really, I mean, so what, if I particular ant, whatever, I'll just buy one. Which I'm still really impressed with the last ant that came, that rainbow chaser. I don't know if you guys have
Mm-hmm.
been having any luck with it. Have you been testing it out anymore?
I don't think they're down anymore. That thing is smacking all the way around.
Yeah,
I increased score by like
right.
2G. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. That ant is very overpowered. But like anything, eventually they run their
Sure.
course.
Well, but I mean, all these AMP system things I'm looking at, they are kind of layered upon themselves too and interconnected in many ways. New crystal in the mines that changes, and now you need this crystal to work on this evolutionary buildings and the build caps. So it's all like I have a point. What Soul said about potentially there being a new season. If we're getting these mega ants, like what are we going to see in our like orange ants levels? Like, you know what I mean? Because you can't bring out mega troops and not really start to develop and think about what's going to happen for the main characters in our troop
Oh,
lineups.
they did drop a video that on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
where they show, which are development ants having 4 stars, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. There's nothing in a update about that, but they just so happen to drop that video and show development ants with stars on them now.
That'll be interesting.
Well, and I think too, like people don't realize how important upgrading and working on those developers are sort of hidden in this little back closet of where you station them. But I was, I mean, I've definitely for sure have been lacking in my development ants because it was like get your troops up and big. But if you build a good foundation, like your production level on a lot of your resources that you're very light on and stuff, go, and it makes it a lot easier to do many of the other things inside your hill. So if you're an early game player, like don't forget about getting your development weighted.
I was
Yeah,
I was told that by like an early game,
Mm-hmm.
very early game by the time who was very knowledgeable in games of this style, and he said, and he goes, development ants, forget about your soldiers, forget about building up, push the development ants, because even the blue ants, whatever,
Yeah.
he goes, that is the most important factor, and eventually get way ahead of a lot of other players that, you know, spend early game focusing on having the strongest troops and everything, because those players, yes, while they may be overpowered right now, you know, these types of games are marathons. They're not sprints. So if you do that, you'll be able to accrue resources to help build up your hill and build up your buildings, and you know, you'll be a lot further along when it in the early game. It's not that important to be that strong, because you know the battle of it does not really take importance until a little bit later in the game, and you want to have that, right?
Well, and even things like honeydew, which is super hard to come by, like out of a lot of the resources, because you can't like significantly increase your hill's production of that by focusing on the development ants that increase that. Like it's a big difference. Steve for honeydew later on.
Yeah, I agree with that 1,000%, man. I developed all those early on, and I've never in one season run out of.
But yeah, so I was just like a little like thing that came to mind because I was like, you know what, I really like Soul did, like where I focused too much on the development ants. And I mean, I can enjoy leisurely going back and working on them now, but I'm like, you know what, like those minute details and tricks and tips in the game that could have made a really big difference in early style gameplay. I mean, I still got where I am, but I'm like, you know, I took the harder road in some ways.
Yeah, me too. Some ways. So many ways to develop your hill, and you know, or focus things to focus on. Very complex.
Super layered.
You know, another update that occurred in the game that and I think it's more so because all of us on events right now, so we're pretty focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
But the introduction of the Warzone channel,
Oh yeah.
and you know, in my server, there's been a little bit of communication in that channel now. Kind of, hey guys, how are you? Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Whatever. It's been a little bit. I think that'll change once we're, you know, back on server and during a KE event, because that's when you really want to communicate the other server that you're facing in SVS. But what has your guys' take been on that? Is it the same like not much
Yeah, not much
talking in
activity.
it. And
Pretty low
Yeah.
key.
I agree with Bug. It's like not super. So kind of happens in season, like the first day of season, you're like everyone's chit chatting, and then as the season drags on, it gets a little bit quieter, but then has spurts of activity. It's really going to shine and come into play is when we're all back from events and we're hanging out for those like whatever few weeks on server with. I think it's a good
I did
improvement.
test something on that channel and failed horribly, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I tried to water someone that was on the other server.
Didn't
I
work.
think they
It-
fixed that
it-
though, didn't they?
It went to like, you know, the leaves that close up like it's going to take you to the hill.
Yeah.
And then it just froze my whole.
But I mean, I think there were a
shut it
little bit
down
of
and
growing
reset.
pains. Now I'm going to try, but there was a little bit of growing pains.
So you
with-
can go on the other server now? Or
I
you
think
can't? Or does
so.
it say error?
Mine doesn't say error, but I'd have to find someone who needs to be checking right now. But it's of course you might be challenging to find someone who needs to be watered at this late in the day. It probably resets the better time,
Well,
but
Yeah.
you can just hit a random player that chatted in it.
like I can see in their hill. No, I can't water them. Their hill, they're so I see that it needs to be watered, but I can't water them.
Mm.
So you can see that their hill needs.
Yeah. But it doesn't. So I can visit their hill basically, and I can see, and I can even screenshot. I can see a picture, but I can't
Water them.
water them. I mean, unless I watered them before. I don't think so because I don't tend to water anybody.
No, but I think that the chat will be, utilized, like you said, Nim, at certain points. And it'll be cool to just be able to communicate with other servers, especially if you're newer in the game and thinking to, man, those people seem really cool. Like I kind of want to play with them. They're hilarious or whatever, for a season or something like that. It could be useful in, team alliances merging, being new and better, and because a lot of times you play the game for the people that you play it with as well as the game. I find that, when I'm in an alliance where I enjoy the people there, I have a much better time playing the game.
I mean,
yeah,
honestly, this is a team-oriented game, right? So, having an enjoyable chat, players is kind of all part of this game, right? I mean,
Mhm.
at least to me, that's one of the more important factors. The alliance I'm currently in, it's pretty quiet, but my style of team, right? Like a bunch of professional players that everyone's polite to each other. There's like no drama, just knows what to do. And, I like that style,
Yeah.
I've been on teams where it's been a little bit more and so that can be fun as well. I'm not saying that, but point in my personal game, I just kind of want to log in and do my stuff, and they're all think alike, and are in the same mindset on what's important, what's not important, and it's refreshing. I like the ability on this Warzone channel that if you do face a server that's within your that it is a potential to meet other players that may want to CSC into your and your alliance. So that's always been one of my biggest complaints when it comes to this game, that if I was in a quote unquote younger server facing during season events, and I really dislike the fact that we would be the only young server because our team might have been a little stronger or whatever, and we were facing these old teams in events, and then the next time a season and we signed up, now we were facing teams in these older servers, but lo and behold, many of the players that were on one team or another merged into making a stronger team. So it just was like, this sucks, because we're the only young server facing all these old and older servers were able to recruit among each other in the season. And then the next season they would build these stronger teams. And so it was like, I always felt that if you can, in an event, you should be able to CSC within that range, because, you may find players that like their teams and they would have joined your team or whatever may be the case. So I think this Warzone channel kind of brings that in a little bit. Now you have the ability to chat and, find potential players, other teams that may be like, oh, I'll 2 weeks of being an SVS against each other, the opportunity to get to know you a little bit, and maybe teams can use that for recruiting or getting to know other players before they something along those lines. So, because let's face it, not everybody uses Discord, not everybody uses social media or whatever may be the case. So like,
yeah,
I still think the best way to communicate, to get to know that you're talking to the actual person of that account, because I mean, like, it's just like that a lot. Like, I think communicating in the game, or opening any type of communication channels in the game, one in the community a little bit better, because they can know who they're talking to as far as an account is concerned, not necessarily, it's a little bit harder on some of the other social media channels, like making sure people are being truthful and what,
like being able to see somebody's style of gameplay, rather than just like, 'cause if you recruit, on a heavy style alliance, you're like, okay, what are your soldier defeats? What are your heals look like? It might be, but when you see oh, okay, that person, they're really active right now. They're fighting a lot. They're bringing it. And maybe they don't have like crazy kills, but they're super active. So I think actions speak louder than words, and this will give people an opportunity to see what you communicate verbally or written, and
oh,
this have a more educated, you're a good fit for their
Oreo's
alliance.
got a very good point that like some countries do ban Discord. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm on 4 different social media platforms just in Ants chat groups. Okay. I mean, like,
Hmm.
I'm even on one that's like a majority Mandarin speaking channel, because the team I happen to be Mandarin speaking, and I had never even heard of Line before, playing this game. So I'm on that channel to communicate with members of my alliance and whatnot. So it's it can be a bit confusing. So having it in the game is so.
Don't you think it would be fun if you could just take people home with you from like be like, yeah, you can like, hey, you want to come home with us? And you just like tag them and he'll gets teleported to your server and you're like I was thinking too, because we were having this conversation, like, wouldn't it be fun if you could like vote to swap around allies or like, mid game? So like you plan an event this way and then suddenly there's like a ally shuffle. And so you have to like pivot mid event.
Would actually be a great idea, to be honest with you.
Like, so, but it's like a random roll of the dice so that you like all of a sudden you're like, oh, so yeah, because it would switch so quickly.
Actually, it would be a perfect use of that day and a settlement period on the event. Like the last day and a half, oh, you have the ability to be recruited into
Yeah, like make it like a recruitment period or something. So like there's that window of time. I don't know, just these little things where I'm like random thoughts in my head. But I was gonna say too, like I'm a big proponent in this game. It's why we started doing backstage of connecting with players and community and having, because as much as we like analyze information and share our own game experience, there's so much you learn from just players. Like there's tons of stuff like for instance, backstage with AC making that comment about how he was running his mines and our conversation was running his mines. And then you can tweak it to how you play. Like no two players do it exactly the same, and I love that like sort of exchange of what suits you. Because your hill, it's like your favorite pair of shoes. You slip into it and you get it, you tweak it to how you want it to feel. So important, like with the Warzone communication, because it's fun to like be able to speak to the players that you're playing against, or because there's like the fun banter that you can have, the spicy banter that you can enjoy in a healthy in Warzone too, and that adds a whole other layer to the gameplay experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear, players get more or less active, throughout their quote on this. So if you are facing another team and you see a player on your opponent's side or even in your allies that's very active during the game or whatever, and that's what your team is seeking, then that would be a great opportunity. But I mean, it's very hard because with the CSC ranges being as limited as they are, I don't think, I'm just going to go look here real quick, but there is no one in my event that is in our CSC range. None of our allies, none of our opponents are
just disappointed. Like it's like, because like it's the whole thing about building community is finding like-minded players, and there's so many opportunities of people out there that you may never get the chance to experience outside. Because being in season and being in an alliance are two different things. Like it's, you know what I mean, with your allies. So yeah, it's kind of think about changing that option.
Actually, interestingly enough, in my personal event, two teams that are allies with eligible to CSC within the range of two teams on our opponent's side. But obviously, team is in the same CSC range as an opponent, and the other team is in the same CSC range as another of the opponents. Like our team cannot CSC into any of the other teams, and one of our opponents cannot CSC into any of the other ones as well. So, and I feel that that's probably the case in a lot of the matches now. Just how opened up because of the fact that all servers can get matched again, and everything's lined up now, right? The seasons all play at the same time. So
I wonder if this new Evo will alter the dynamic with matchmaking, right? Criteria wise,
Possibly,
I would assume.
but we'll have to wait and see.
Mhm. So, I don't know what server ranges are being accessed. I read
I think
that.
it's all of them, isn't
Is
it?
it?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Do we have any early, like, just because you get a little bit disconnected? That's like one of the conversation we're having. You get disconnected on what is happening with the newer servers that are coming into play. So it's
Yeah,
a good
like,
question.
yeah. I wonder if anyone is in like the 1400s or something like that that's listening to someone that's newer and can put it in chat. But yeah,
I
I
do
mean,
want to remind everyone one more time that if you haven't done so already, make sure that you guys go into the channel that I'm posting here in live chat. If you leave your in-game ID, we can have the fairies send you out a little gift basket for joining us as we discuss this stuff. Nice little gift package for you guys. Go ahead, Bug. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's cool. I might have another one too. Let's see here.
Oh, are we getting into bug codes?
No, 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 no. Ants. Okay. I just have to find it. Ants has those codes that run out after a certain amount of time or uses. I put one up last week, so I just wanted to put one up again this week. Here it is. Save.
Bug's code going into the live free materials.
Well, it's the game's code, but Bug gets them because he watches for that stuff.
Yeah.
On all their socials too, man. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm
So,
going to
yeah.
take a minute while Bug's doing that. I'm going to just briefly talk about, we've started doing a segment on it last week and a little bit today. It's called Backstage, and they're kind of random lives where we're inviting the community to come up in a roundtable format to chit chat with us. Reasons we're doing it now, and one of them is connecting with community, but we understand that there's a wide server range of people and players and experiences out there, and to like connect and talk about stuff that's relevant to what's happening in your specific game is something that we would like to see the community get the opportunity to do more of. For when we do these pop-up backstages, and if you're comfortable coming to listen or chit-chatting with us, please do so. Have been enjoying doing them so far. Okay,
I've liked
back
them.
to Bug.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, earlier, just having verbal dialogue about the game, what's going on, you learn so much, like, without, like, our minds collaborating together, trying to figure this out, it would be such a noob, like, what's happening here?
Mhm. So
I wouldn't find out the secret little, tricks or hacks or whatever you wanna call and, just little things like that.
I see
yeah,
you,
it's key to remember that what's we're experiencing in our current servers might not be what's happening for the players in the 1400 servers, and being knowledge across those borders or gain insight into what gameplay is going on for them. I think it's super important to build those bridges and opportunities.
You get Yuna. Did you get Yuna to sing for you on one of those backstages yet?
Not yet.
Ever since you invited her to sing, I don't think she showed up.
I ran away.
Man. You guys are missing out. She's got a beautiful voice.
Well, now you've been called in.
One of these days, redeem code usage.
Look at Little too late.
Hey, I try, guys. I try. You know,
Yeah,
maybe
so-
it came out a few days ago, so
You got those
Little-
Steam codes and grab them up quick.
yep.
So I think unless anyone in the audience has anything left to ask or share stuff.
You think we've got, you think this AMP system's gonna go into play by next stage? Or part of it?
Isn't it on a 7 days or something? The last announced. I don't know.
Oh, I can check really
Didn't-
quick. I think it says on the AMP system going into effect. What was it?
Maybe leak some more information about it. Not leak, but like share some more sneak peeks and tidbits throughout the week.
I think like last count I had was 9 days, and I think that was a couple days ago. So I want to say by next Sunday will be.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hope so. Fun. Hee hee.
I mean, we already kind of are a little bit with the like getting deeper if they do something just random. In the meantime.
Yeah, I mean they've been sending out sneak tidbits the last few weeks, I think, haven't they? Like little announcements on Instagram and stuff. So we'll have to see. But I think
Mhm.
and we've kind of reached what we can guess and chit chat about today. And I don't see any questions, so I'm going to do my little then allow the rest of the people to close it off. But I'm going to remind everybody, like Soul did, to put your in-game ID in our game IDs channel so that we can get you a little something from the fairy. I also want to remind everybody that we do have a Stage Topics channel. So if there isn't something we've fully covered today, something else, please feel free to post a topic in our channel. There's also world suggestions and words that is available to put game suggestions as well, so that the developers might see it and maybe something will happen. So I want to remind everybody, because I see the wonderful Charmaine in the audience, that we do have a recruitment channel for staff, and there's staff opportunities if that's where you feel drawn. So please feel free to check out the recruitment channel and see if there's a staff might fit for you. And that's the end of mine. I just want to tell everybody that I really appreciate you coming out every week and sharing your time with out with you next week.
Yeah.
Thank you. Covered.
Thanks everyone for being here. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.
And Soul,
Yeah.
to us into goodbye.
You guys covered it all. Thank you today, and we look forward to seeing you possibly middle of the week for backstage. If not, we'll see you next week here on stage. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your
Bye.
Sunday.